And this is Margaret. And we're the Cousins Weird.
And we're virtual.
Because I'm broken still, and Colleen's busy.
Broken, and I am busyness, and we're just...
Colleen's really busy, and I'm the opposite of busy.
Well, you can't do anything. That doesn't
I don't.
You don't want to.
Oh, I want to. I'm just over the 3-week mark. Sunday will be 4 weeks since I broke my ankle.
Wow.
And I'm real stir crazy.
I bet.
Been crocheting a lot. I feel like I should have more to show for what I've been. The thing is like, now I am dealing with a broken ankle, but since I've been down, my vertigo has come back, and so I'm taking, the only medicine they give you for that is basically car sick medicine, and it basically just makes you go to sleep. So right. I don't take it during the day. I take it at night before I go to bed. And before I would wake up, like before I started taking it, my normal waking up time around here was like 5:30. Then after the change, it was like 6:30. Now I'm lucky if I get up before 8, because this medicine is insane. Like it's
right.
You take one every 12 hours. Like that's like the max. I take one a day, and I take it before bed. And then it really affects me almost through the afternoon, and I end up taking like a 2 or 3 hour nap, and it just makes me feel muddy headed, like I'm all foggy brained. I start to feel like now I feel good, more myself, but
right.
Evenings are busy here because the kids get off the bus here. I'm staying with my parents while I recuperate from my broken self. Because at home I have a lot of stairs, and I can't really, it's hard for me to do stuff by myself.
Yeah.
Like I could make myself something to eat, but then I can't bring it anywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I can't carry anything. So it's nice being here and not being all alone, because, if I was at home, I'd basically be like all alone all day.
During the day, yeah. This week I had my very first Reiki treatment, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've had Reiki done before.
I've never had it done before, and I decided I'm gonna do it. So I went and, she, talked to me about things, and she said when she does it, sometimes she, gets pictures in her head. I'm not psychic, but I'll see things, and I'll let you know what I saw. And she goes, sometimes you'll see things while I'm doing it or whatever. So she did the singing bowls, which was awesome. And then,
oh, those are great.
Yeah, I used crystals around me, and she kind of intuitively pulled out what she thought I needed as she went. But when she was doing it, she asked me before she started, do you feel like any of your chakras maybe closed? And I said, I really think I didn't know all the names of the chakras. I'm the one in your abdomen, the sacrum. And I said, that's how I feel. And then she said, what if you do you try to meditate? I said I have a hard time meditating because I'm an anxious person. My brain's running all the time. So what if I try it? And she goes, what color do you see? And I said orange, and she laughed because that's the sacrum color. And she's like, that could be why you're seeing orange. Anyway, while I was having it, she did this reading on me, and I basically everything but my crown and my root chakra were blocked. She said. So she's like, you're right, the sacrum is blocked, while you have other ones that are too. Anyway, as she was doing the thing, or the Reiki, I started seeing all these beautiful colors. I never see beautiful colors when I close my eyes. I saw bright blues and reds and purples and greens and all these colors I never saw before. And I kept seeing this, a forest. I like it when I'm in the woods, looking up through the trees and seeing the sky. I don't know, I always love to do that. So when we're at the cabin in the summertime, I always sit back in the chair and look up at the sky. And I kept seeing that, but the sky kept on changing colors while my eyes were closed. And,
cool.
It was just really cool. At one point she was at my head, working, had her hands on my head, and I felt like someone's hands were also on my stomach, which was bizarre to me. And all of a sudden this warmness took place, and this warming sensation took place in my stomach, and it traveled right up to my throat. All the chakras, this when they opened up or something. So cool.
That is
It
cool.
was such a cool experience. But, at one point when I was looking, like I could see like the trees and stuff above me, I saw like the snout of something, like some animal, I was like, is that a horse? It was the weirdest thing. Like I just saw like a shadow of something go in front of my face. And then it went away. Well, at the end of it, she said, did you see any colors? And I said, yeah, I saw all these colors. And she's like, that's amazing. And she goes, I was seeing colors too. And she was like, so I thought, well, maybe she's seeing them also. But she said, she asked me, do you have any, Native American in you? Like, I said, very little, we have a little bit. And she's like, huh, what else? I was like, Scottish. She's like, okay. She goes, at one point, I saw a stag head go down and up and with a full rack of
Cool.
antlers. Okay, so we had a malfunction for a second, but we're back. So he said that he saw the stag, right, with a full antlers and everything. And it's crazy she said that because I saw the snout of some kind of animal.
That's cool.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
But then I was talking to my mom and telling her what she said, and she said, I wonder if it wasn't a stag and maybe it was a moose. And I went, oh, because the connection we have with moose.
Yes.
And I was like, wow. Anyway, moral of the story is I felt fantastic when I left. I was all relaxed and like, it was great, and I'm totally doing it again. It was such a cool experience.
Yeah,
So,
we have a couple practitioners where I work at Open Sky that do Reiki.
Do they?
Yeah.
I went to see Holly. She has the wellness cottage on Pearl Street, and she sells crystals and stuff there, and she's very sweet.
I actually took the Reiki 1 class.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So I have a very basic knowledge of Reiki. I took the class and I had a client and I missed the first so much time of it, but like the lady who did the class is, she does the Reiki there at Open Sky, so,
okay.
Like I could probably, I thought about doing it again, just to do it. You should, plant therapy has Reiki blends for essential oils.
Yeah.
And I have the Compassion, the heart chakra one, and I use it in February in my room, and everybody compliments on it. They're like, "Oh my God, what are you going in here? It just smells so good."
So that was my experience, and I was definitely going to go back and do it again because it was really cool, and I like to see what I see next time or what she sees next time.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Cool.
It was just cool. Yeah. So she said ancestors come into the room and like talk. Like, be in the room, like, see them come in while she's doing Reiki, which I think is, like, really cool.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's cool, though.
Alright. Speaking of ancestors and spirits, see my segue? There. We're gonna talk about the haunted Ross Castle that's in Ireland because we're still in March.
Yeah.
So we're still gonna go with the Irish thing. Because that's what we are.
Because March is Irish month.
Yeah. And you probably will hear little voices in the background. That's just because Margaret is in a communal room because she can't go other places.
I could, but it would be difficult.
Just the way it's going to be. Bye. Oh, goodness, this is funny. Okay,
she had basketball practice tonight.
Oh.
Playing basketball.
Oh, basketball player. Just like her
Aunt
Colleen.
Too, yeah. Unlike her mother. I tried playing basketball, but I just ended up breaking myself, so,
I love basketball.
And we all know I can break myself in my house. Just walking down the stairs.
You don't need help.
I don't. I'm really good at that all on my own.
Okay, so, the haunted Ross Castle. Now, the village Ross is in the county Meath. I think that's how you say that. It dates in Ireland. It dates back to the early Iron Age. So this little village has been around for quite some time. It's situated on the south side of the River Inny as it enters into the Lake Sheelin, which is a big midland lake in Ireland. This region of Ireland played a big part in the battle between the Anglo-Saxons in the east and the Celtic Irish to the north and west. So there was a lot of battles happening and things happening. The Pale is a region, which is in this area, west of Dublin, to the shores of the Lake Sheelan. It was under English. The border of the Pale was governed by the Nugents. They were English lords. And outside the boundaries of where the Nugents, outside the boundaries of where the English ruled, was controlled by Irish chieftain clans. The O'Reillys, the McCabe's, the O'Neills, and the McCormicks. So it was very much like the line between the English and the Irish. So, like, they were mortal enemies. So, this was
is the
like,
Nugents?
The Nugents, which are my cousin's last name.
Yeah.
So the Nugents were the English that bordered the land they ruled that land that on the other side of it was ruled by Irish chieftains. So it was like very stressful area.
Yes.
So in 1536, the 12th Lord of Delvin, Richard Nugent, he was English, obviously, because he was on the English side of the land. He ruled Ross at that time, and he built the Ross Castle, and it's still there today, as a stronghold. The castle was positioned at the top of a steep hill on Lake Sheelan, overlooking enemy territory of the clan O'Reilly. So he purposely put it up high so you could see the enemy territory, very strategic. The stone was cut by the nearby Ross quarry, and it took several years to build the tower, to cut the stones and build the tower. It was surrounded by a walled living quarters, and had defense buildings built. So it was a stronghold. And him and his daughter lived here. Richard was also known as the Black Baron, because he had a bad reputation, and no, he didn't give a damn about it. I've been waiting all day to say that. He was very hard on the people he ruled. He was callous, quick to temper, and had a very mean streak. And they called him the Black Baron because they said he had a black heart. So he had a very poor reputation. People did not like him. However,
yeah. And the Black Hearts.
The Black Heart.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't give a damn about his bad reputation.
He didn't.
Okay. Anyway, his daughter Sabrina was considered very beautiful, and she was very much the opposite of her father. She was kind and well liked by the people. Everyone loved Sabrina, hated the dad, who was just not a nice guy. She would spend her time on the shores of the lake. Normally a governess would be with her to accompany her about in her explorations, but as many young women are used to, she would tend to sneak off alone to explore. One of her solo adventures, she met a young man on the border of her father's land at the bridge on the River Inny, and his name was Orwin O'Reilly. Remember the name O'Reilly? Mm-hmm. It was their enemy. So she met the son of her father's enemy.
Yeah.
And of course, chatting, they were taken with each other and were like, swore they would meet again in the same spot. So several meetings, they secretly met because, they couldn't tell anyone that they were meeting because their fathers would be furious if they knew they were talking to someone from the other side.
Oh yeah.
But all their meetings, they fell in love, of course. It was
the Montagues and Capulets.
Yeah, it was a true Romeo and Juliet situation. They knew their fathers would never allow them to be married. So they decided to elope together. They had to get a boat and row across the lake. Now this lake was a big lake. Probably like Lake Ontario. I'm thinking like almost like you can't see the other side. During this travel, a storm hit, and there was winds and waves, and it capsized their boat, and Orwin sadly hit his head and drowned. Now, at the time, they realized that they disappeared, so Sabrina's father sent people looking for her, and they found the boat capsized, and they were able to save Sabrina. But she wasn't able to, she was like in a coma for like 3 days. During that time, they retrieved Orwin's body from the lake. Now, there are two versions of what happened next. One says, when she awoke, she heard of her love's death, became horribly depressed, went into the tower of the castle, into her room, and would not eat or drink until she died of starvation. Like, she starved herself.
Yuck. That's terrible.
The other story says that she woke up and was told that he died, went into the chapel where his body was laid out, which I'm not sure why they would put out the body of their enemy's son, but they did. This is what it said. She screamed in terror, like a blood-curdling scream. She saw him dead, and shortly after died of heartbreak and shock. Either way, she's dead. They both died. Now, both her and Orwin currently are buried in a mound of the castle's ground. Again, why did they buried the enemy's son? I don't know. And eventually, as history goes on, the O'Reillys and the Nugents, like the O'Reillys end up being on that land, and it becomes a totally different situation, but we're not getting into that. We're talking about what happened about these star-crossed lovers and hauntings happen. Okay?
Oh, yes.
What both of the tales have in common is that Sabrina's restless soul haunts the castle to this day, waiting to be reunited with her lost love, Orin. Some say her death was payback for the Black Baron's evil deeds he did in life. Like, it was the worst karma he could get, because it was the death of his daughter and he loved her. Now, it's also said that the grief he felt of losing his daughter bound the Black Baron's soul to the castle as well, and he is also known to be haunting the grounds. And some people say maybe he's trying to seek atonement for the terrible behavior in his life. Today, Ross Castle is a bed and breakfast in Meath, and is considered one of the most haunted castles in Ireland.
Well,
it's a smaller castle.
I would love to go to Ireland and stay at this bed and breakfast.
Yeah. When you stay there, you rent the whole place. You have the whole thing to yourself. They come and cook you food, but they leave you to your own devices. You can actually stay, one of the rooms is Sabrina's room. And obviously, this is where many people have seen sightings of Sabrina. Once a psychic entered the room and started crying instantly because she felt her presence and the grief that was overwhelming.
How sad.
Yeah, many say they hear a blood-curdling scream, like they said in this tale that when she saw her love dead, she screamed through the castle. Now, the guest book of the bed and breakfast has many people writing their experiences in it. Lots of them wrote about hearing big, loud bangs in the middle of the night with no reason for them, like doors being slammed, footsteps when people in the corridors when no one was there. Many said that they felt someone sitting on the bed next to them, but no one was there.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, reports of furniture moving on its own. Whispering is a big thing. Lots of hearing of whispering, but when you investigate, there's no one there talking. So these are all accounts written in the guest book of people that have experienced things. So I'm going to read an excerpt from the guest. With the entire castle to ourselves, we had supper over the turf fire and the amazing fireplace in the upper living room at dusk. Like, bring that on to me. I want to do that. This took our minds off of the terrifying banging that was heard at 1900. So what's that? 7 o'clock? It sounded like someone or something was trying to break down the door, with 10 to 15 violent bangs ringing out throughout the castle as we descended past Sabrina's room. Although we heard other noises, we had thought that this really uncomfortable moment was only truly I can't say that word.
Inexplicably?
Thank you. Say. That was until we looked at our pictures on the computer when we were back at our home, where we saw the unmistakable figure of a woman looking out the main living room window towards the lawn, and 2 children peeping at us around the door in the kitchen. We had taken a walk around midnight through the entire castle, randomly taking pictures in the dark to see what may come out. We never expected to see anything so amazing and clear, and have now absolutely no skepticism left as whether or not there's anything in this castle. So this was something that was sent to them after the stay, but it was like entered into the guest book where people can read it.
That's crazy.
So they saw Sabrina. Now, there was a psychic that also said that she felt the presence of children there, thinking maybe because of the famine, maybe they had passed due to the famine, and their souls were also in the castle. But there was only one person that ever said that, but they said they saw children. in those pictures. So there must be child spirits there.
Eek.
Now this one is truly disturbing.
Oh no.
One guest left early, checked out, like they didn't know why, they just left, and then they happened to look at the guest book where they signed out, and it said, "A ghost made love to me last night."
Oh god.
Period. I don't think the Black Baron has any boundaries, maybe.
I'm laughing
He
at
said made
terrible.
love to me. The person said made love, so I'm so mad, I don't know.
That's just not cool. Like,
No. But they left, and like, that was all they wrote. One sentence. Well,
I said I would not be okay with that.
No.
No.
I wouldn't have said they made love to me.
I wouldn't have either. It would have been more explicit than that.
Yeah. So, the castle isn't the only haunted spot in this area. There's a church. This is kind of cool. There's a church located on an island in the middle of this big lake. Now, hundreds of years ago, it was being used, and they would cross by boat, but in the wintertime when it froze over, they'd keep carriages over there. One day, there was a funeral, and a priest was in front of a procession that were crossing the lake. The ice cracked, and everyone but the priest fell through the water, into the water and died. So, tons of people died. They say every 100 years, the apparition of this funeral procession appears across the lake. Now, the last time it was seen was 25 years ago. So, and we have some time before it's going to happen again.
Yeah, right.
But apparently, if you go into the tower and look out the window, it's a perfect place to watch the procession cross. So in 75 years,
well, I won't be
alive.
alive.
Go there. I won't be here.
I'll be too old to care at that point if I'm still alive.
I found a lot of information on the website for Ross Castle. There's actually 2 Ross Castles located in Ireland.
Of course there is.
Yeah. And this one is in Meath. The other one's in Killarney, I think. And they both, I think, are considered haunted. One is the O'Donoghue family, and this one's the Nugent family.
Well, the Killarney, Ross Castle in Killarney is one of the ones I was doing for Christmas because the Christmas in Killarney. I was doing Killarney ghost stories, but I didn't end up finishing it because I was sick. It was one of those when I had the COVID. So
I know I have like a Christmas episode for next year too because we got sick. So anyway, there's 2 castles, so don't confuse them. If you want the Sabrina love story castle, you gotta go to that one. Well, on the website, it's really cool because they have like pictures of the rooms and history of the castle and stuff, but they linked a blog, and it's called Ghost Catchers UK, the Ireland blog, and it's about the author's stay. He went there, and so I read this, and I'm going to talk about some of the experiences that they specifically had, because I thought that if the website of the castle themselves linked this blog, then it's got to be, legit.
Right.
So the author stayed at the castle for a birthday party for their friend, and the birthday party consisted of a paranormal investigation by a medium. But they didn't state who the medium was that was there. They didn't give the details of that. So not long after their arrival, one of the men was scratched deeply enough to draw blood. They didn't know how, because all of a sudden they were scratched. Now the medium said that she saw an unpleasant looking female spirit near him before that happened. So I don't know if it's Sabrina or who, some mad, unpleasant looking woman scratched him. There's a small bedroom in the tower, and the medium said that I'm seeing an anxious man pacing up and down by the bed, and the others in the party who were there actually heard the footsteps of someone pacing back and forth.
Yikes.
In the room at the top of the tower, the medium saw the unpleasant woman, which is Sabrina's room, above the bed, like hovering. And she said, apparently she doesn't like the birthday girl, the girl whose birthday party this was, like they were doing this for, because she was growling and hissing at her.
That's horrible.
What? First you scratched the dude, now you're growling and hissing at someone.
You need to leave.
Calm down.
Yeah, I'd get out of there. I want to stay.
She
obviously doesn't want you there.
She also showed interest again in the man she scratched. She like went over by him where he was sitting and was like staring at him and looking at him. And then the medium sensed an aggressive male spirit enter the room, and he wasn't happy about them being in his castle. She said that even though the female wasn't pleasant and growling and hissing, she got very protective of the party when that male spirit entered the room. Like she was wanting to protect them against that spirit.
Oh.
The author of the blog said that he felt the room temperature drop when the second spirit came in, and they all felt of this horrible unpleasantness, and some said they saw shadows moving about the room when no one was moving. While they were in the living room, apparently several spirits entered. One touched the medium's hair and moved it to where they all could see it standing on it, which that horrifies me.
Yeah, I don't like that.
At that point, he said, "I feel like I'm being watched from that window," and the medium confirmed that that female spirit, the unpleasant-looking one, was watching from the outside. Now, I feel like Sabrina was well-liked and beautiful, and I don't see her, like, she's sad. She wouldn't be, maybe she's pissed. Like, my father's an asshole, and my love died. I'm just gonna make everyone else miserable. I don't know. Now, he talked about how they were all, like, terrifying and swore they were never to go back to this place. That they slept there that night and they heard lots of noises through the night, and it was just, but he did say a lot of what he felt could have been due to suggestion of the medium. So there's that. But how do you know if the medium, well, I don't know, the medium, it could have been real. Who knows? You don't know.
Right.
And with the fact that a lot of people wrote their experiences in the book.
I know. That's cool that they have that, though.
It is. And it says that, the Lost Planet lists Meath Ross Castle as one of the creepiest places to stay on their list of lesser known haunted places. Now the main castle, like I said, you can rent. It has 7 rooms, lots of common rooms, and can hold up to 17 guests. And they said it's what I read, I think it's 1,600 pounds a night, which is like excessive.
Yeah. It is a castle, though.
And there are also several cottages, because they have those defense buildings and stuff. Several cottages on the property that you can stay in also. And if you go on the website, you can see what each of the rooms looks like. They very much kept it to the, like, medieval charm of what it should be like, which is kind of cool. It's really cool. It's super cool inside. It's beautiful. There's, under Sabrina's room that you can rent, under it is a wizard's room that's painted and fantasy themed. And the owners of the bed and breakfast really embrace the haunted history. Like I said, on their site itself, it talks about the ghosts that are in the castle. It links you to people's experiences, so you can go there and like read more blog entries and things of people experienced while they were in the castle. And I'll link in the one blog that I just talked about, that they talked about their experiences. I'll obviously have that link, but there's also a paranormal investigation on video by Mike Heron that the Ross Castle's website links. So I'm like, it must be a good one. I didn't watch I don't like to watch a lot of video and stuff before I do these, because I don't want to take, I don't know, their tone or something. I'm weird about that. Yeah, I don't listen to, I try not to do things where I know, like, I've heard a whole podcast on or watched a show on, because I don't like the tone, but.
And even, like, after, if I do like, I did the Jack Parsons one, I didn't want to listen to the last podcast on the last one, because I'm like, it's going to be better than mine, I don't want to know.
Yeah, right? Right. So I did not watch the video, but I'm going to link it, so in case someone wants to, like, watch the actual investigation happening in the castle. It's like one of the lesser known haunted attractions, but it's like a place where a lot of paranormal investigators want to stay, because apparently one of the other things I read, it was like you will get something will happen. You don't know what and when, but it will happen. It's almost like you're guaranteed to have some kind of experience while you're there. And other than the guy being scratched, I guess that's bad, but other than that, there wasn't like, one woman got made love to. I think that person might have been great. But that's just me. I was like, what? Why did you word it that way?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
That's creepy.
yeah.
That's creepy. But the Ross Castle. So on another one of this list, our list of places we want to go, I want to stay in the Ross Castle.
Yeah, me too.
And
this sounds fun.
I will make sure I wear like a chastity belt.
Definitely, yeah.
Nothing.
Really tight, skinny jeans.
Yeah. Make it real hard for them to get to the goods. I just won't sleep.
All I can think of in my head is you walk into your room and there's rose petals on the bed and there's candles lit and Barry White playing in the background.
And the Black Baron's there.
Yeah.
Like being all cheesy, laying out on the bed. Like Austin Powers.
Yes! With a hairy chest.
Yeah. Laying out in the bed.
That's so funny.
And they're like, it's time for me to leave now. I was made love to, and now I have to go. Like, what?
I know, it's more the wording. Like, oh.
Yeah. Like, okay, it's horrifying to think about, but the wording makes it very, like, the way they worded it, like, I died. I laughed. I'm not horrified. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Was it unwanted?
Yeah,
you're wording it like
that?
It was wanted.
Yeah, like you planned it, like you had a rendezvous.
You brought your special underwear.
Like, yeah, did you buy special underwear? Anyway, that's the story of the Haunted Rock Castle, and I loved that it had like a love story and all that, and a haunting. It's all my favorite things: love and haunting.
And ghosts making love to you.
Well, that's not my favorite thing.
No, I don't want that either.
I don't want that. So, Margaret and I, the Cousins Weird, as we are called, will be at AnchorCon again this year. We're invited back August 19th and 20th.
Yay!
So, save the dates. And make sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram so you know the day we're actually going to be live. We'll do our live recording. It'll be put on our thing. But you want to be there because it's interactive and fun. And if you're not following us, you may never know the exact date of our live show. So, follow us on the socials.
If you'd like to reach out to us, you can reach us at thecousinsweird@gmail.com. Or you could send us a direct message to Facebook or Instagram. And we'd love to hear any kind of spooky tales you might have, or even weird Dollar Tree stories, because we're trying to collect them. Because
for some reason, bizarre retail experiences
are great.
Hysterical to me.
They really are.
I want to know them.
I have to, they have like clickbait on Facebook, and it's like, the ones are like, of all these pictures from Walmart, I have to look at them.
I
like,
do too.
That's not real. But it is.
Because the world is weird, man. People are freaking weird. And I love it.
Me too. I'm there for it. That's your weird show.
Share our podcast with your friends, because that's the best way to support us. You want to make sure you're following us on all the things, and you rate us, and you review us on your platform of choice, because it pushes us out there into the universe so that other people can find us.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Go to patreon.com/thecousinsweird and support our podcast for $1 a month. It's a freaky friend, and you get bonus episodes and a yearly gift. And for $5 a month, you're a terrible trender. You get bonus episodes, a yearly gift, ad-free episodes, a monthly Skype. I did something wrong there, but it's written out on Patreon.
Yes.
And because podcasts are a lot of work, and we put a lot of work into them, and they're an investment of our time and money. And if you like what we do and you want to help us out with that, we love you. We love you, whatever you do, just for listening.
So we can continue doing this.
Yeah, so we can continue doing this because we love it, and we hope you love it too. And we appreciate you for listening and sharing us with your friends and just being there. We love it.
You do?
And being patient with us over the last few months. I know we've been inconsistent.
But that's my fault, because I broke myself. So, I'm sorry.
Well, and sickness, we've been sick, we've been busy, life gets in the way sometimes, especially when you both work full time, and we're trying to do this too, and it's just hard sometimes. So we appreciate your patience and love anyway.
Yes.
The inconsistencies. So, thank you.
All right. I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Stay freaky.
Bye.
Bye.